Hello again. We're going to continue on the MRP system. And again, once what we did here, we did talk about the MRP and the planning, started with the aggregate plan last chapter, and then now we're going into deeper with the planning to talk about individual items, individual products, and the subcomponents of each product. We did talk about the benefits and some of the challenges with the MRP. However, now we're moving into a newer version of the MRP, which is the manufacturing resource planning, that was developed as a way for manufacturing companies to calculate more precisely what materials were needed to produce a product and when and how much those materials were needed. The manufacturing resources planning, MRP2, evolved from the MRP. So the MRP started first and the MRP2 then came next in 1980s because manufacturers recognized additional needs. MRP2 did not replace or improve MRP. So this has basically expanded the scope of the materials planning to include capacity requirement planning and to involve other functional areas of the organization, such as marketing, finance, into the planning process as well. So it is the MRP2 improved the MRP1, which is to include more detail about the manufacturing process, as well as including other functions in the organization. When we talk about the closed loop MRP, which is the system evaluate a proposed material plan relative to available capacity. So now we're talking about monitoring as one of the output for MRP is monitoring the reports and making sure that the plan is matching what's the output. The system evaluate a proposed material plan relative to available capacity. If a proposed plan is not feasible, then it must be revised. This evolution is referred as the capacity requirement planning, and we did talk about the capacity requirement planning in previous chapters. But as a reminder, the capacity requirement planning is a process of determining the short-range capacity requirement. Input to capacity requirement planning coming from planned order releases from the MRP, so what exactly is needed, when we have to ask manufacturer to do, current shop load, we need to know what is the exact load for each station, routing information where this product has to go, and the job time, how long will take you to finish one job. As a key output would be the load reports for each work center. We will create a report for each work center. Now, for the load report, as you see, this is basically a chart that will show you the capacity based on what is in production right now, what is the planned order releases and expected orders. So departments or work center reports that compare known and expected future capacity requirement with projected capacity available. So again, this would be the capacity, and then the planned order release. You could plot that and see how that's compared to the capacity and so on within the time period as well. When we talk about load, we talk about two types of load. One is infinite loading, which is jobs are assigned to workstation without regard to the capacity of the work centers, or finite loading, which is basically jobs that are assigned to work center, taking into account the work center capacity and job processing time. So what's the difference between both of them? One is open load. You could put any demand on that load, or finite, which is limited load based on what we have resources in machines and employees as well. So we can't exceed that capacity. That's what is called the finite capacity. The last thing that we need to talk about it in this chapter, which is the enterprise resource planning. We're moving into now a bigger system, which will evolve from the MRP, and then from the MRP we went to the MRP2, and now the enterprise resource planning will capture and data in real time. They will capture and make data available in real time to make decisions and to help managers to make decisions and other users throughout the organization. So it's the ERP, the Enterprise Resource Planning System. It's updated every minute, I should say, because it's live, real-time application, real-time capturing for this data, so we could know exactly how much we sold out of this unit and how much we have in inventory, and then we'll plan based on what available in the inventory, and we consider the lead time for each product in order to make and satisfy the demand for the customers. ERP system are composed of collection of integrated models. We have a different modules for the enterprise ERP, such as we have a module for the finance, we have a module for the marketing, we have a module for human resources, purchasing, production planning, inventory management, distribution, sales, and supply chain management. We put all these systems together into under the bigger system, which is the ERP system, the Enterprise Resource Planning, to have a real-time data, and we could update that. With that, I'm going to end this chapter right here. There are a few slides that I lifted for you so you could review it in your own time, just as an example of the bill of material, example on the knitting and exploiting zero levels part, and then how to create the MRP plan for this particular example. I hope this is helpful. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.